Alright, what is going on, guys? It's S.Gamer, and welcome back to the All Unwanted Challenge on NFL Head Coach '09. This is episode number 4, and we're going to be doing the offseason heading into 2009 in order to get this team back to greatness. So, obviously, I'm not going to allow myself to franchise tag any of these guys. I'm just going to show you some of the key players that we're losing. Ken Dorsey, our star quarterback, who emerged as a viable option and, threw for 5,000 yards last season. He's gone. Alexis Serna, Ty Law, Tony Richardson, Chris Gamble, Ryan Blackmeyer, Russ Hochstein, Philip Wheeler, Eric Pierce. Those are some of the top guys that are gone that we are not going to get back. Well, we may get some of these guys back, but we'll see. Just kind of depends. But yeah, so we're going to leave without tagging a player. And now we are going to simulate to... I don't think we should have any RFAs. Let me double check. Cedric Houston is a 3-year pro, and so is Ryan Plackmeyer, but I don't think either of them are eligible for RFA. We'll check, because my rule for RFAs, I'm going to explain this now, because it may not come up for a while, but I'll go ahead and explain it, is we are allowed to tender certain players. But if they get an offer, we have to let them go and take the draft pick in exchange. So that's going to be the rule that I go with for this challenge for restricted free agents. And it does not look like we have anybody. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, alright, we're good. Alright, so we're going to send to free agency, and what we're going to do is we are going to scan the trade market. Now this is going to be very different because the first year I pretty much know who I want on my team right away. But the problem with this team is I really don't know. I'm just kind of looking at options. I really don't know who to pick up. We're gonna keep Damon Heward for now. I'm just gonna put all the guys that I signed to be able to trade on the trade block right now, and we're gonna go look at some trade options. I'm gonna put these. Well, we'll keep them for now. All right, David Hale, he's safe. These guys are not. Yeah, Grady Jackson. We might get rid of Johnny Jolly. I'm not sure yet though. This guy has to get traded as well. Alright. So first off, let's just look at trade offers. So Mushin Muhammad, he's got some very high trade value. So we may use him if there's a big name piece on the market. We may use him. Nobody wants these centers. Okay. Warwick Dunn, he's got some offers. Mainly from the Titans. Alright. Mike Furry, I did see an interesting offer, but okay, now no one wants him because they all want Mushin Muhammad. Okay. No, that's alright. So Grady Jackson has some trade value. Michael Roos was on our team. Let's see if anybody wants him. Dante Culpepper, yes. Teams are always going to want these backup quarterbacks. Or some teams, it might be their starting quarterback. Alright. So let's look at who's on the trade market. Terrence McGee, right away, there's a name I want to trade for. I see some very good players. Alright, so we're going to start off with Terrence McGee. He's an 85 overall cornerback. Alright, I see this package is what we're going to do, if they'll take it. Yeah, we're going to give them Warwick Dunn and Mike Furry to pick up Terrence McGee. Perfect. Jarrett Johnson. I want to trade for him. There's a trade offer I just saw from the Ravens that involved him. We're going to trade Dante Culpepper to the Ravens for Jarrett Johnson and a 7th. Perfect. And that somehow lowered our approval. You guys can't see it. I forgot about that, but we went down one approval for that. All right, Ryan Khalil. All right, yeah. I see. They want Mushin Muhammad. They want my core. They want my quarterbacks. We're gonna trade them. Can we just do? We'll do. You know what we'll do? We'll do Chad Pennington and Brad Johnson for Ryan Khalil. Perfect. We're already rebuilding this team. Victor Abiamiri. They want Randy McMichael. That is perfectly fine with me. I'm totally okay with getting rid of him. We'll go Randy McMichael and a 5th. Yeah, we'll do that. It's fine with me. Alright, so we already have some very good options. I'm just looking, there's a couple decent running backs, some good receivers, surprisingly. David Thomas is the guy I want to trade for. I'm actually going to go do the trade with the Patriots for Grady Jackson, where we do, we'll just do it straight up. We'll do Grady Jackson for David Thomas. So we're already getting rid of a lot of those guys. We're down to 4 of the guys we originally had. Does this guy have any offers? No, he does not. So Mushin Muhammad, we'll go ahead and probably trade for picks. The offers got a lot lower, which is kind of odd. So maybe I should have taken those earlier, because there was teams that wanted to give me like 2nd-round picks for them. All right, well, let's look at what do we need on this team. We need a quarterback, because Damon Heward got a lot worse. I am actually gonna put him on the trade block because his salary is really high and he got a lot worse. We need receivers, which I see some guys that we can trade for. We need a left guard, although David Hale will probably get a chance to start this year. We can also move one of these guys over, move one of these centers over. We need maybe a couple more corners. We need a strong safety. Let's look at strong safeties on the market. Anybody really good? Roman Harper, he'll always be there, so that's fine. Let's look at trading for some of these receivers. There's Jericho Cotchery. Start with him. They want Mushin Muhammad plus draft picks, which we might do. We'll look at the other offers, though. Kevin Curtis, they don't want to trade him. Okay. So we'll do this Jericho Cotchery deal for Mushin Muhammad plus probably like a 6th or something. I don't know. Let's do this one. Mushin Muhammad plus 2 7ths just to get it done. Perfect. So now we have a decent receiver that we can build around. Alright. So now let me look at some other options for some other positions. Like I said, they still don't want to trade Kevin Curtis. Now they want to trade Brandon Stokely. So we'll look at the offers. Okay, they take a 2010 5th. That's fine. So now we have 2 solid receivers that we can use to build around here in the future. Nobody's super outstanding. I am going to try to trade for Jay Richardson. Is there anybody they want from our team? No. So I'm actually going to hold off because there's no trade interest for him. So I'm going to hold off and wait for some teams to come calling and want to trade for him. Steven Nicholas was on our team originally, so we could try to get him back now that he's on the trade market. Brandon Seiler, he's not bad. I'm going to try to trade for Antrel Roll. They want our linebacker Bernard Boxer, so that is okay with me. because we got to get rid of him anyway. So there we go. And then Dominique Foxworth, we don't really need. All right, so we've made some trades. We got to get rid of these centers, Scott Wells and Al Johnson. And then that's it. These three guys were on our team originally. We're just trying to maybe get rid of them in a trade if the market, if the market makes sense to get rid of them, then they may get traded. Let's look at what teams might need a center and see what they have on the trade block. The Bills don't have a center. The Cardinals. Looks like the Jags, the Patriots, the Ravens, Redskins. Okay. The Vikings. All right. Let's just look at the top guys. Should have tried for Roman Harper, see what they want. I don't want to give that much up for him. We can get a better safety than that. Let me look at these teams again. Center. The Bills. If Fred Jackson, I would maybe find a trade for him if they want. Okay, yeah, they want a fifth. The Broncos, they have a center. The Browns, the Bucks, the Cardinals. But see, I don't think they want anybody. They don't have anybody I want anyway. The problem is nobody actually wants these centers. The Jags, nobody I really want. The Patriots, we already traded for David Thomas. Pierre Woods isn't a bad linebacker, but they don't want any of my guys either. The Raiders, the Ravens, and Redskins both. Chris Chester. The Redskins don't have anybody in the trade block. Look at Chris Chester. Okay, they actually do want Scott Wells. So if they will do Scott Wells for Chris Chester, I'm fine with that. Okay, yeah, they actually don't want to do it. So I didn't really need him, but I would have done that trade just to kind of fit the challenge. The Saints, I believe they had a center. Yeah. Seahawks, Steelers, Titans. Vikings did not have one. They're another team. Let's look at the Vikings. They've got Ryan Cook and Marcus Johnson, a couple tackles. But it looks like they don't want either of our centers. We'll look at what they want for Marcus Johnson. Yeah, alright. So we'll just have to see. Maybe at the draft we can pull off a trade involving one of those guys. But for right now, they're on the block still. We still have a very solid looking... Oh, we do have to trade Donnie Edwards too. I forgot about him. I didn't even think about him still being on the team because of how high of an overall he was. But he's the biggest guy that we got in that trade. So we'll keep him. We may try to pull off a big time deal at the draft with him. So now we're gonna sim through free agency, wait and see if some more guys get put on the trade market. Anybody new? It's interesting. Ken Dorsey went to Tampa. That's very interesting. He could be a big time X factor for them. That is actually kind of scary. They picked him up. Now that we got him to a high overall, he went to our divisional rival. Is usually very good. And they needed a good quarterback because I imagine they probably got rid of Jeff Garcia or he retired. Alright, let's just see. Is there anybody new? Seems like there's not as much movement on the... Okay. Never mind. Now we have a lot of movement on the trade market. Brian Greasy. They don't want to trade him to us. Okay, cool. Maurice Morris. He could be a backup running back. Brad Butler. We don't really need him. Jacques Reeves. We might trade for him. He's a very good corner. Signed for a few seasons. Yeah, we're going to do that trade. We'll give you a third, maybe. They probably want like a second. We'll give you a third and a... Can we give you a fourth and a fifth? Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine with me. Any interest in Donnie Edwards? Not yet. Alright. So now we've got our 5-corner rotation for this year. It actually looks pretty solid with Patrick Surtain, Terrence McGee, and Jacques Reeves. So we got 2 corners from the Bills that are both pretty good. So we'll kind of see how that goes. We'll check the trade market again in a minute. See if anybody new gets picked up or gets put in. Alright, let's look again. We'll just look every so often. Oh, man. That is a big-time name, but they don't want to trade him. D'Angelo Hall would be really, really good. We might... This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put everybody on the trade block and see if there's any players they want from me. I'm going to put everybody up on the block. If there's anybody they want off my team... Because we can always fill holes, but it's not every day that you see somebody as good as D'Angelo Hall come up on the trade market. So we're gonna put everybody on the block here. It's gonna take me a while, but we're gonna do it, and we're gonna try to actually. Let me just go by position. Kachary, Stokely, Kevin Robinson, David Thomas. Everybody can get on the block. David Hale. All those guys are on the block. Antrell Roll, get on the block too. Daniel Manning. Alright. That probably still won't do it, but yeah, that still doesn't change anything. But I just want to see something. Does that change any of the guys that they said we couldn't trade for? I mean, we could always trade for Jay Richardson, so that doesn't really change anything. Actually, there must have been some guys that... I don't know. Alright, anyway. We'll keep those guys. We'll gotta see if we get some trade offers. That also help because if we get trade offers, it'll tell me that we got them when the trade market updates. Like right now, there we go. We got a trade offer, which means that the trade market is updated. And D'Angelo Hall is off the trade market now. I don't know if he got traded. He did not. They took him off. But I think that may mean he'll get cut. If you're trying for Damon Heward, I'm actually going to... What is it? If it's like a 7th round pick, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm not going to give up a 2010. I'm not going to give him up for that cheap. But if I could have gotten a decent amount for him. Okay, this definitely kind of backfired because we're getting a lot of trade offers. Okay. This should show us some new guys. Jade Wilcox. Aaron Rodgers is also available. Let's see what they want for him. They want Omar Gaither, or they want... You know what? I will throw them... I'll throw them a 4th for Aaron Rodgers. This is before MVP Aaron Rodgers, but he could still be a decent quarterback for us. So we'll put him on the team. I'm just looking. Matt Roth. See what they want for him. Anybody that I'm really trying to give up? Not really. I'm just kind of looking. Jay Richardson is still there. Let's look at this dude, Jade Wilcox. Is there anybody they want for him? Perfect, actually, if they'll do it. Al Johnson. Yeah, there we go. Okay, actually, you know what? I don't really care. We'll give you Antrell Roll. We'll get a middle linebacker. Get rid of Antrell Roll, who we traded for. And he can kind of replace... so let's take these guys off the block now. This is not really working. But we'll get a guy that can kind of replace... we had through a lot of guys last year. I can't remember who we got rid of. But we got a new guy in the middle that can kind of help in that rotation. And we get rid of our other center that we're trying to get rid of. So, it's perfect. We're going to keep Damon Heward on the block, especially now that we have Aaron Rodgers on the team. David Thomas. We'll keep these left tackles on the block. Oh no, we have to get rid of Scott Wells still. I forgot about that. We'll keep Hank Fraley on the block. Now they have Ryan Khalil. See if there's any interest in him. These guys are probably pretty safe for right now. Abi Amiri. We'll keep Chike Okafor on the block because he's got a very high salary. So if we could shed that, that would be pretty good. Kelly Gregg. We'll keep Johnny Jolly on the block as well. Ryan Neese, because we don't really need him anymore. Alright, so yeah. So that's kind of... We'll kind of expand our trade block a little bit. See if we get any interest. And then we'll look at the trade market here in a minute again. See what's going on with it. I'm kind of bummed that I missed out on a D'Angelo Hall. But sometimes when high-name guys like that come up, it's because they're unhappy. And it may mean that he'll get cut. And then we can pick him up for nothing. So that would actually be pretty cool if that happened this early. Usually it doesn't. But I'm kind of confused as to how... They definitely didn't put him on the block because like they didn't want him because he's their best corner. Like, that doesn't really make any sense to me that they would want to get rid of him. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of our old players popping up in free agency, going to new teams. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Alright, I think the market updated. Usually when there's a pause like that, it means that it did. But there's really not a whole lot going on. We were going to have to do some work in the draft, which I may... Actually, I'm going to do a shorter video since this phrase didn't take as long. And then we'll do the draft in the next episode. And see how that goes. Alright, well, we're getting very close to the draft. Let's take one last kind of look at the trade market. Let's just real quick look at making a deal for Jay Richardson, because I know I want him. I kind of want him on the team. We'll give them this high third if they'll take it, because we probably won't be able to use that pick. We'll probably have to trade down from it anyway, and we'll get Jay Richardson, who can be a backup behind Elvis Dumervil and do pretty good rushing the passer. Well, I do see Kenton Keith, but they don't want to trade him. Let's look at Michael Robinson. Possibly a backup running back. I don't want to give up that much for him, though. Fullback. Receivers. Just looking at new names that have popped up. Nobody really amazing. Let's look at Stephen Nicholas. So I guess Stephen Nicholas. Get a original Falcon back on the team. They want Scott Wells for him, so actually I'm 100% okay with that trade if they'll do it. I'll even throw in the 7th if that'll help. Yeah, we'll throw you Scott Wells and a 7th round pick, and that gets rid of all the guys we needed to get rid of. And so yeah, so now we definitely need to trade Ryan Neese. Try to find a way to get rid of him, but we get an upgrade in depth at left side linebacker for essentially a 7th round pick, which is totally okay with me. I mean, so let's look at our draft picks going into this draft. We have the first overall pick. I didn't even notice that. I didn't realize that. The Raiders were the worst team. We ended up with the 18th pick and we had the 29th pick from Jacksonville. We also had the Raiders' 2nd round pick. So, moral of the story, when you do trade in this game, try to get the Raiders' 1st round pick, because the Raiders GM, I believe it's because he has a very low skill level, but they will give up their 1st round pick for like nothing, and they are always terrible. So you're pretty much giving yourself a top 10 pick for like free. So other teams that are good to do that are like the Lions, the Ravens, the Panthers are usually teams that are pretty bad that you can get high picks from. We have the Seahawks 2nd, Giants 2nd. We had a lot of high picks, and that's it. So we're going to have to trade down a lot probably. And the good thing about this draft is usually there's not a lot of teams that want to make trades, so we may be able to make some higher picks and get some good talent on this team, start building a foundation for the future, or at least for the next few years, because we can't re-sign any of them after their contracts are up. But yeah, so let's keep going a little bit. We still got about a week till free agency. We'll see if any new names pop up. We got some new season goals. Let's see, who do we have? Okay, there's a cornerback on the market that I kind of want to trade for. I'm just checking through all the positions real quick, making sure nobody new popped up. But yeah, we're going to try to trade for this guy, Jack Rowe. They actually want like nothing for him. That's pretty crazy. I will give them two. Will they do the 6th and 7th? Yeah, we'll do that trade. We'll do a 6th and a 7th in 2010. And we get Jack Rowe on the team, an 80 overall. That is fine with me. So looking at the team, we had to trade Andrew Rule in that deal to get we had to trade him in that deal to get that middle linebacker. We get a better corner for cheap. He's an 80 overall, 84 potential. He signed for 5 years, so he may be on this team for a while, the depth corner, or at least until we get some better options, then we can afford to trade him or cut him. But that's a pretty solid pickup. He'll be decent for us. So I think that might be all the trades that we can make. I'm going to look Pretty much. Okay, I saw a thing for a trade negotiation that doesn't necessarily mean it updated. I'm gonna look one more time. I think that's all we're gonna be able to do right now. We're gonna kind of check that. I'm gonna develop staff real quick. Jim Caldwell, who we had as offensive coordinator, we will get his play calling up. He's a 57 overall, and then our GM doesn't have enough points. All right, I think that's everybody that we need to update. We'll look right before the draft start or is about to start, and see. Actually, real quick, I want to check the FA recap and see. Yeah, we lost 54 players. That's crazy. Free agent losses. I just want to see. A lot of guys didn't sign anywhere. Damian Woody went to the Vikings. Brian Smith to the Rams. Jabari Greer to the Redskins. Bryant Johnson to the Vikings. Bryce Garrett to the Chargers. DeAndre Fuller to the Lions. Alexis Serna to the Panthers. Chris Horton to the Ravens. Philip Wheeler to the Lions. Syracuse to the Giants. Ty Lagos to the Bills. Eddie Kennison to the Lions. Plaquemire, Hochstein, Gamble, Ken Dorsey, big time loss. Eric Peters, Desmond Clark, Gabe Jackson. A lot of these guys were like on my team, but like they didn't actually ever like they got cut in the preseason, so I don't know why they're showing up now. Michael Lewis to the Bears. Todd Sauerbrunn got signed, which is kind of crazy. Josh Morgan, Nick Harris. Chester Pitts. Yeah, alright. So a lot of guys going to new teams. Alright. So the NFL draft is here. That's gonna be the end of this video. And in the next video we will go to the draft. Actually, it's not gonna be the end of the video yet. I just need to double check the trade market one more time. And it looks like nothing new, or at least nothing worth really looking into. Alright. So that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and please consider leaving a like or subscribing to the channel. Thanks again, and please be sure to stay tuned for more content like this. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. It's going to be S.Gamer signing off.